Also in the news today, a head teacher at a grammar school in Kent has introduced a new policy where pupils have to shake the hand of their teacher before each lesson. Some teachers, apparently, are not happy about this and are sanitising their hands for fear of germs. How did the world survive before hand sanitizer? And don't you just wish you'd invented it? But it does bring into sharp relief as to whether you are a handshaker, a fist bumper like Barack Obama, or you're a hugger. You just go straight in for the hug. A la Belle France. Well, we need a man who knows etiquette upside down, back to front, because he's worked with the future King of England. Grant Harold, good friend of the programme, the Royal Butler. Good morning, Grant.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm very well. Good to talk with you. Now, if anybody can answer this one, could you ever imagine His Royal Highness Prince Charles fist bumping?
Well, I don't really think of anybody fist bumping. I mean, the first time somebody came out and fist bumped, I thought it was a game of scissors, stone and paper. I didn't know what to do. I was completely taken aback.
Now, you can see the argument about this, Grant, is that, and certainly, you've worked for Prince Charles. They do a lot of handshaking, and that can take consequences on hands as well. You know, it can hurt the hand.
The reality is, of course, it can hurt the hand. I mean, it's possible to pick up germs and all sorts of things, but we've been shaking hands for centuries. I mean, it's not as if it's something we've just started doing. And it is, we live in a world where people want to immediately wash their hands or get the wipes out or something before, as soon as they've done the handshake. And also it's a bit worrying when you see people doing that, because you think, oh, have I got something? Have I passed something on? So, there's this thing, and at the same time, when you shake somebody's hand, I always kind of say to my clients, make sure that your hands haven't got anything nasty on them. Again, either wash them before you meet somebody or very gently, and not too harshly, but very gently rub them on your side so that there's nothing obvious on your hands when you do the handshake, and then it should all be fine. But I mean, this thing about people not wanting to shake hands, it's ridiculous. It's crazy.
And it is something that is a considered and professional and personal greeting. I mean, I suppose gone are the days of the 1950s where, we're raising our hat and going, how do you do? No, how do you do?
Well,
but yes. Maybe we should bring that back.
Well, I'm all for that. Let's start petition. No, see, these old traditions, some of them have, of course, they've died out, sadly. Yeah. And handshakes are very much something that we still, thankfully, do. And I mean, as I've always said to people, handshakes go back to the Romans. I mean, okay, the Romans didn't quite do the handshake, but they still had the greeting with the forearm. And it was a sign of peace. It was a sign of goodwill. Okay, they might have killed each other afterwards, but at least they showed a sign of warmth to each other before. Again, obviously good manners.
Yes.
So this is the thing. It's a sign of showing somebody else that you mean them no harm. It's you're showing goodwill to the other person. And so it's just sad that today people don't want to do that. And I mean, these fist bumps, oh Lord help us. It's just when you see all these youngsters fist bumping. I mean, this school, this teacher, they have to be up for some sort of national award. I mean, I have to put them forward. I mean, it's the best news I've heard all year.
And I'm sure you went to a school. I know I went to an all-boys school in Bristol where when the teacher walked in the room, you stood up. And you may well have resented it as a 13-year-old boy, but you stood up. And it sort of gives you something that at the time you may not appreciate, but later in life you understand why you were made to do it.
Well, do you know, it's interesting because, yes, as you said, we used to stand up when the teacher, whether male or female, walked in. And I mean, another lesson that we teach today to, I say youngsters, because I teach youngsters as well, is that when a lady walks in the room, you stand up. Now, the look of puzzle is extraordinary because I think they're kind of thinking, why are we standing if a lady walks in the room? And it's about respect. It's not just with ladies, it's with elders as well. It's about respecting other people. These days, we are in the 21st century, and there's absolutely nothing wrong if you wish to stand if a man walks into the room, especially if it's a dignitary, an MP, a royal. So, I mean, there's different kind of variations. But again, it's showing respect to other people, and this is what's something that we're kind of lacking a little bit that I've noticed. I've been to a couple of schools, I do the classes in them, and you can see that there's things that aren't getting taught any longer, and it's sad.
Well, maybe the handshake at this school is a good thing. Grant, always a pleasure talking with you. Have a great weekend.
Likewise.
Grant, thank you very much indeed. If you want to find out more about Grant Harold, put his name into a search engine of your choice, the Royal Butler.